everybody. It's Dr. Erin here, one of the good doctors of Abbey Research, and I'm here with our Good Doctors Diagnose for Wednesday, January 15th. And I'm talking about something that I love and hate in this video. I absolutely love Jeopardy, the game show here in the United States that's been on for my whole adult life. But one thing I hate is the way that they use non-gender specific categories and only talk about men. So I'm going to explain this to you. As the title indicates, I'm talking a little bit about gender parity, which is gender balance. And this is particularly important on Jeopardy in terms of the language that they use for categories that are non-gender specific. So what I mean by that, especially if you're unfamiliar with the show, but even if you are, is if there is a category called famous historians. That is non-gender specific. It's not famous male historians or famous women historians. It's famous historians. By and large, what I have noticed is that when the category is non-gender specific, most, if not all, of the answers refer to men. And this is a problem, particularly for the way that we talk about certain professions. And there's this assumption that even if we're not specifying a gender, we're talking about men. And this is true for a lot of professions. And if you would like to learn more about it, and this concept called the default male, that we assume if gender isn't specified, we're talking about a man, appears is the introduction to one of my favorite books of this year and of all time, Invisible Women by Caroline Criado Perez. Buy it, read it, gift it to your friends. I recommended it very much so before the new year as a great Christmas present or end of year present, but it's a great present any time of year. And I won't get into what the book talks about, but she talks a lot about and explains really, really articulately what the default male is. And so watching it in Jeopardy, for me, it's one of those issues around representation that we talk about a lot here at Abbey Research. And it's impactful not just on Jeopardy and not just in pop culture, but everywhere. So the example I had from Jeopardy, I wrote it down several months ago, actually. It was in October 17th of last year. The episode, there was a category that was titled Historic Names, and all 5 answers were men. Even though, arguably, as half of the population for all of human history, there are a lot of female historic names that could have been included. But the default assumption is that they were going to be men. And this bleeds into our business life and our work life as well. So ensure that when you're talking about people of different professions, people of different backgrounds, that you strive for gender parity in that representation. Because a lot of times the stories that we tell, the examples that we use when we're talking about people in our field, it's a lot easier to default to a male example because those are the ones that are by and large more told, more known, more referenced and easily recognizable by other people. But I challenge you, going forward in this new year, how can you work for gender parity in your office? How can you make sure that women's names and stories and experiences are at an equal level to the men, whatever field you may work in? So that is my challenge for you for 2020, to work towards gender parity. And notice when it happens in pop culture instances like this. It may seem like a small thing on a game show like Jeopardy, but that impacts the way we see the world as well, and it's really significant. So that is everything that I have for this Good Doctors Diagnose, and everything we have for this week. We will see you next Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye.